Jim Gordon's search for the Clown Prince of Crime bring him closer and closer to his own heart of darkness? Well, let's hop into the pages of Joker issue number 3 and find out together, shall we? So then, as you've probably noticed by now, a lot of this series is about exploring the interesting, multi-layered relationship that Gordon, a normal person and regular cop, has with the most famous supervillain that is the Joker. And of course, we can't talk about any of this without talking about the long shadow that the famous story Killing Joke still holds over both of these characters. If you need a refresher course, this was of course the storyline wherein the Joker tried to prove to Batman that even the most normal and sane person in Gotham, aka Jim, could be driven crazy by one bad day. Jim, of course, proved the Joker wrong and ended up helping Batman save the day in that scenario by not going crazy, but the events and the psychological scars from that day still linger. And as Gordon is still not 100% sure what he's going to do when he comes face to face with the Joker yet again, he decides to revisit these feelings and Amusement Mile all in the same day. For tomorrow, he ships out to Belize to try and hunt the Joker down at the orders of Cressida, the mysteriously wealthy young woman who we now know is actually part of the Court of Owls. Before he departs, Jim actually asks a very important question, and that is, hey, if you're basically giving me a black card with no monetary limit, what's stopping me from just taking the full $25 million and running with it? And well, in a very interesting bit of characterization, Cressida says that she never would have picked Jim for this job if she thought he was the kind of person who would run with the money. After all, he is the most honorable guy. The most honorable cop in Gotham, maybe the most honorable cop in all of fiction when I really stop and think about it. Even more surprising, Cressida makes it sound like she actually does want Jim to treat himself. Maybe a nice new suit, some fancy booze, a nice hotel room. After everything Gotham has taken away from him, doesn't he deserve a little bit of leisure time? And the fact that the Court of Owls is actually the one fitting the bill on this one, I find quite funny. Of course, it's not just the former Commissioner Gordon who is zeroing in on the Joker's location right now. You have the daughter of Bane and her army from Santa Prisca, as well as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre pastiche cannibals. Jim takes this opportunity in his internal monologue to talk about how exactly he's gone about solving crimes throughout his career as a cop. He says that when you break it down, there's really only a handful of different types of murders. Most killers, whether they like to admit it or not, have their own twisted sort of internal logic. The only problem is the Joker is a super criminal and ascribes to no type of logic. He doesn't kill because he's angry or scared or hateful. He kills to try and put an exclamation point at the end of a sentence. He kills as a sort of performance art. This makes tracking him incredibly difficult because he has no pattern, to say nothing of when he actually goes underground. In fact, Gordon often thinks what the Joker must be like when he's not being the Joker. Does he just sit and stare at the wall vacantly, knowing he doesn't have to be on and doesn't have to put on a performance until something eventually sparks his interest again? When Gordon eventually does make it to Belize, he starts pounding the pavement and doing some good old-fashioned detective work. Gordon knows that the group that is currently hiding the Joker is rich, powerful, and well-connected, and rich and powerful people often overlook the regular workaday people who are pouring their drinks or cutting their lawns. And even with only a high school level of Spanish, eventually Gordon is able to get some recurring themes in all the different stories people are telling him. Houses in the mountains, strange disappearances, and a group of people that no one seems to want to say a bad word against. At this point, Gordon feels confident enough to just start knocking on doors and hoping for the best, and to his shock and amazement, he ends up coming face to face with the Joker. Here's the surprising thing though, the Joker doesn't actually want Gordon killed on sight. In fact, he's actually happy to have someone be here. With Gordon around, he now has the audience he's been hoping for. After all, what is a manic comedian without a straight man to play off of? And with the upcoming battle with Bane's daughter, her militiamen, and the cannibals, the Joker could use every pair of hands he could get, meaning as the comic comes to a close, Gordon and the Joker are forced to join forces. And so that was Joker issue number 3, everybody, and once again, I think James Tynion does an excellent job turning in some wonderful neo-noir detective work. We're reminded just how interesting, compelling, and multi-layered a character like Gordon is, and how sometimes some of the best Batman stories don't actually need Batman at all in them to still be great. The main story is great with solid expressive artwork, and the backup involving Bluebird and Punchline also continues to be interesting too. Overall, I would give this one another very positive 8 out of 10 and say that Joker has ended up being one of my surprise favorite comics of the year, and I cannot wait to see how it ends up all shaken out. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cave Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cape Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.